It's very rainy today. Very, very rainy. It's been rainy often lately. So, hi, I'm doing the mid-year, what is it again? Mid-year book freakout. Apparently it is a staple of booktubes, so I have to do it. So it starts off with the first question is best book you've read so far in 2021. Best book that I've read so far this year has got to be Vicious. I just really loved this book when I picked it up. It was exactly what I needed to kind of really get me back into reading, because if you don't know, I stopped reading for many, many years. Then I decided to get back into it. And this one really just sparked that love again. Another honorable mention for a favorite book this year would be The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick, and also Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I enjoyed all three of these books very much, but if I had to pick one and say it was my favorite, it would have to be Vicious. The second question is, what was the best sequel that I read so far in 2021? And really, it is the only sequel that I have read in 2021, and it's Vengeful. Surprise, surprise. I loved Vicious. I picked up Vengeful. I was actually a little apprehensive about Vengeful. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I heard a lot of people saying that they really didn't like it, or they didn't even read it because they're like, no, Vicious was just so good. Like, this can be crap. I loved it. I thought it was great. It continued with the same thing as Vicious. Fast paced, more characters, with actually some backgrounds on some of the characters from the first book, which I super enjoyed. The plot in this one was actually a little bit more of a mystery, I guess, but that's really not the point of these books. These books are about suspense, characters, action, fast paced, and I love it. So that is my answer for this one. All right, the third question is a new release that you haven't read yet, but you want to, and that would be For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. I really got excited about this one when I think it was another YouTuber who was talking about it, Elliot, that's all I know is Elliot. I'll link her channel in the bottom. I mean, I think a lot of people know her, but she was talking about this one and it sounded super interesting, so I looked into it. And all I know is that it's essentially supposed to be two girls, I'm assuming two princesses, one of which is supposed to inherit the throne, and the second one who is supposed to be for the wolf. So it sounds super interesting. I hope to get to it soon. But yeah, this is definitely a new release that I haven't gotten to yet, but I have to. Ooh, number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Oh, it's coming down out there. Damn. So for the second half of the year, I am actually super excited because I saw Orbit Books. They showed the cover. They did a cover reveal for the sequel to The Mask of Mirrors, which is going to be The Liar's Knot. If I find the picture again, I will put it up here. I'm super excited for it. I think it's supposed to come out in like December of this year. So very excited about that one. And another book I'm really excited about is Dark and Shallow Lies by Ginny Myers Sane, which I think is supposed to be published in August of 2021. And I'm just excited for this one because I know it's supposed to take place in, I believe it's in like a marsh type of setting, like bogs and things like that. And I feel like there aren't enough fantasy books that have that type of setting. I don't really know much else about it, but I just knew that it was supposed to be that kind of vibe, and I want it. I want it really bad. Number 5 is the biggest disappointment in 2021. My biggest disappointment in 2021 has got to be The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I really expected this one to be super interesting. I was really excited when I got it. I went to like Barnes & Noble 3 times waiting for them to have it. And then when I read it, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was going to be more of a fantasy novel. I think maybe it was misrepresented to me. It's actually a historical fiction, which I enjoy historical fiction, but this one just didn't really work for me. I think it was very slow. Both of the characters in both timelines were very uninteresting. The plot was dull. I didn't think the writing was bad though. The writing was okay. But there were a lot of like tropes that I don't enjoy, like miscommunication tropes. I hate those. I couldn't connect with any of the characters. It was just a huge disappointment. I also thought there was going to be more about the apothecary and the poison and all that stuff, and really there was nothing. So, yeah. Number 6 is the biggest surprise. That would be Vengeful. Vengeful was my biggest surprise because, again, I kept seeing people talk about how it wasn't as good, or, you know, oh, Vicious should have never had a sequel. So I really expected to not like it. I really expected it to go in a direction that I wasn't going to enjoy, and then I really did love it. And so I think I loved it even more because I had low expectations, and it ended up being really high up on my list. And now I want a third book so bad. I want it so bad. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. Okay, this one's gonna be a little weird, but I am very much into, I guess, body modification would be the term for it, but I'll just tell you. My biggest fictional crush this year is Serapio in Black Sun. The way he was described was just very strange and also so appealing to me. Like his teeth tinted red with blood, even his eyes sewn shut, always wearing like a cover over his eyes. And he always just seemed so innocent and yet curious and kind. And I don't know. I just thought Serapio was hot as shit, okay? Oh, newest favorite characters. Anyone from the Villains books. So I think I'd have to rank them, but they are all my favorites. Definitely Victor is up there, but I'd almost actually say that Mitch is my favorite in Vicious, then Victor, then Sydney, but they're all kind of all on the same line of me loving these characters. But yeah, all the characters from the Villains books, even the villains, even Eli, even Marcella. June I don't know enough about, but all the characters in the Villains books, love them. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. What is it? House of Earth and Blood, from the Crescent City books by Sarah J. Maas. This is the only book I've read by Sarah J. Maas. I do not think that it is an amazing book, but this book, and I said it before, this book felt like a high school girl who's got all these emotions and all this sexual frustration, who wrote it all into a book with fairies and creatures and vampires and all this stuff. I will not praise this book and say, oh my God, it's amazing. No. But it did make me very emotional because it literally reminded me of my high school self and my hormones. Also, I think I read this book on my period, so yes, I cried. The question was, a book that made you cry. This book made me cry. It made me hormonal. All right, question number 11. A book that made you happy. I don't really know how to understand this question because is it supposed to be a book that like made me smile and laugh? In that case, there were a few books that made me giggle. I guess, okay. I feel like I'm repeating these books a lot, but Vicious made me happy. I laughed a lot in this book, and I also just generally praise this book for making me love to read again and making me more motivated to keep reading. And yeah, I think I was happy to find this book, happy to read this book, happy when I read this book, even though there are sad moments, I guess. I don't think I was ever really sad, nor was I scared. I was just like constantly anticipating. So yeah, I was just happy when I read this book, happy when I found it, etc., etc. So, okay, question number 12, the most beautiful book I've bought so far this year. Most beautiful book I've bought so far this year. I don't really buy very fancy books. I don't have a lot of money. I will typically try and get paperback covers. The only time I get hardcover books is if I really want that book and it just got published and it's only hardcover, or it's from the book of the month thing. But you know what? I have an answer. Because of Vicious, after I read Vicious, I became obsessed with V.E. Schwab, so I've been trying to buy all of her books. So I went onto bookshop.org, which is my way of buying books. I don't like to buy on Amazon. And they had the collector's edition set of the Shades of Magic. And so I think this is probably, yeah, my fanciest set. They're all hardcover, they're all different colors. There's also a map inside of all the Londons and everything. So yeah, I think this is probably my fanciest set. It wasn't even that expensive, which is why I got it. But yes, my prettiest books. I know they're not that fancy. I'm sure people have much prettier ones, but this is my answer. All right, last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of this year? By the end of this year, I need to finish these ones. I read the first one, A Darker Shade of Magic, so I need to read A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light. It would be nice if I could get to those. I also would like to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, again, because V.E. Schwab binge. Don't judge me. Then there's just like other books that I want to get to, like The Jade City would be one of them. Then I would also like to get to The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I would like to start The Bone Shard Daughter. I know this is going to be a trilogy. I think the second book is already out or is going to be out very soon. So I'd like to read this as well. I also want to read The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It's not very long, so I'm sure I can get to it at some point. And then I have a friend who keeps telling me that I need to read the King Killer series. I think that's what it's called, right? King Killer Chronicles? King Killer Chronicles. I don't know. So I need to read those. All I know is that by the end of this year, I need to start many, many series. That's what it is that after my long break of not reading, here I am trying to read all the books. I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up with everyone else. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, that's it for my mid-year book freakout. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope the lighting was okay. I'm probably gonna edit this video later and just be like, the lighting was not okay. Anyways, if you like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, click the bell, all that stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.